On the Duncan Duo Show, talking about the local real estate market. You got another set of questions that I think prompted us to talk about, the market of the moment right now, the real estate market that we're in. And this is, some questions to ask yourself if you think it's time to move on and sell your home with the Duncan Duo. If you're wanting to sell your home with someone else, I can't help you. But these are 6 signs it's time to call us. The first one is, the seller's market is booming and you want in. I think that's logical. The prices are hot. You're in a really good equity position. You want to take your equity in profit and move on. One of the things that gets forgotten by a lot of people is our ability to write off and save in taxes on the income that you get from selling a primary residence. So it did not go away in the tax overhaul 2 out of the last 5 years. If you occupy a home as your primary residence 2 out of the last 5, then when you sell your house, you don't pay taxes on that gain. Very, very savvy people make sure to really take advantage of that during a booming market. We have customers that literally time moving on, I'm in 2 years, time to sell, and move to the next one. And yes, they incur some costs, but their profit is usually much, much more substantial. And that way, they avoid themselves ever getting stuck into a position, into a negative position on a house. So lots of customers of ours have done that. I think that's a pretty common thing, is when the market's hot, that's the time to sell. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Any thoughts you guys have on that one? No, it's pretty...
No, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. I mean, you do good that way.
Because your neighbors just got what for their house? Yeah, that's
common.
Yeah, so the neighbor, breaks the record sale in the neighborhood, and you want to obviously go, break their record.
Right. The tough part sometimes is your house doesn't compare to the neighbor's house.
Yeah, their house isn't as nice.
There's usually a reason why the neighbor got a record price,
right?
And it's not usually because of dumb luck.
Right.
And it is hard to go in and explain to a seller about some of the upgrades that a neighbor has, and really most of the time, not every time, because sometimes the seller's house that you're meeting with is nicer, but most of the time you have to explain to the seller about how great their neighbor's house is, and some people take that a little personal.
Oh, it's very hard. You have to that's one of the most challenging things on the listing side of our business is the customer being given the real facts about their house and how it compares to other homes.
I think a seller's, they know their home in and out, they know the depths of their home, they know that when they built it, they put in the extra rebar and all this kind of stuff that is not usually what makes buyers fall in love with a home, but it's great that it's there. And explaining that to people is a little difficult a lot.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you on the same token, I think a lot of sellers mistake all of the factual things as mattering a lot. Because in reality, we have sellers that want to follow the buyers around the house and tell them about all the things they've done to it. 7 years ago I put in this, and 5 years ago I did this, and we did extra this in the attic, and da-da-da-da. Especially on a first showing, the facts are almost meaningless.
Well, real estate's very emotional, and facts are not emotional. Emotional is how they feel when they walk in the home, and the way that's dictated now is by HGTV, and it's about when they walk in and everything is perfect, I hate to say, and everything looks showroom ready and looks like a model home. And they fall in love emotionally like that, and all that other stuff is just extra. But for a lot of, especially first-time home buyers and millennial buyers, which, believe it or not, are the biggest percentage of buyers right now, that stuff really is not that appealing to them.
It's more of a second or third showing, thing. It's something to maybe push it over the hump with another house. But on a first showing, it's like I always give the analogy when you went out with your spouse for the first time. Did you check their resume? You probably didn't have them whip out their resume on the first date. Looking at the house the first time is the first date. You're looking at it visually. You want to quote unquote be attracted to it, however you want to call it. That's not something that's happening on a first date. That's a second or third date. So all the facts about the years and the disclosures and how old the roof is and all that, those are things that happen in the next phase of it. They need to fall in love first. They need to fall in love with the house first. So the next reason why you should think about calling the Duncan Duo to sell your house, you're sick of being financially stressed. I think that one kind of goes without being said. You're tired of paying the monthly costs associated with the house. You know, and that could be because of the next answer, you've grown but your home hasn't. You got, you know, more kids now. You know, you need a bigger house. You need, you know, more space. You've added pets. You've added stuff. You've added cars.
The number one regret of buyers is that they did not buy enough square footage for their needs, and that's what causes most buyers to upgrade.
Yep. And then the converse of that. Let's say you're someone who is retirement age. The kids have moved out. You've got too much space. You've got a 4,000 square foot house with 2 people. It's time to consider. Yeah, it's time to consider the downsize, you know, or you can just get a bunch of pets. I don't know, you know, either or. But those are reasons why it's time to call the Duncan do and sell. You're over high maintenance. You know, you sell your house because you want the condo on the beach. You want something low maintenance that you don't have to worry about mowing the lawn and replacing the roof and having a tree fall on your car. Robert had a tree fall on his car. Sorry,
got that
Robert.
Maintenance. Got to do the maintenance
stuff. So the average homeowner shells out $2,000 a year for maintenance. So again, that could be, you know, dipping into people's Starbucks budget. And then the last one, you've put at least 5 years into the relationship. Hey, let's face it, people in today's society, they don't stick with things long enough. So 5 years, they're ready to move on to the next one.
I think, you know, pretty much nationwide stats, 5 to 7 years is
it used to be.
How long people
I remember when I got into real estate it was 5.5, and now it is up to a little over 7. I think part of that's from the real estate crash still, but I mean at 5 years you start thinking.
Yeah.